What's good, y'all? It's the one and only King Cow 516 live in the mix, and this is the Swiss Flames podcast. So who should be the number one option for the New York Knicks this coming season? Before we dive into that, we're definitely excited here at the Swiss Flame podcast because we are officially a week out from NBA training camp, which only means that the season at hand is almost here. And because of that, here at the Swiss Flame podcast, we will definitely be dishing out a lot more content as the season starts. So be on the lookout for that. Definitely check out our website, www.swissflames.com. Hit us up on Twitter at SwissFlames. Definitely check out the Facebook and YouTube page at Swiss Flames Podcast. So who should be the number one option for the New York Knicks this coming season? We all saw what happened to them in the playoffs. We kind of seen Julius Randle fizzle out in the playoffs. You know, it was kind of like his first playoff. So, you know, I think he had I think he was just trying to do too much, and that kind of got to him. But also, we know in the playoffs, teams start to really scout you and start to try to take away what you do well at. And so Julius Randle goes left a lot. And so Julius Randle's improvement in his game needs to be, he got to get better going to the right, because they just totally knew he was going left every time. Anyhow, during the regular season, I still believe Julius Randle should be the number one option for the Knicks. Just the way the game's played in the regular season, totally believe Julius Randle should be the number one option for the New York Knicks, and he should lead the New York Knicks in scoring. I think they would have a more well-rounded scoring this season based upon some of the additions. You know what I'm saying? I think RJ Barrett will take another step forward. I think adding Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier is going to give them consistent guard play. And I think the Knicks will be all right in that regards. Bringing back Derrick Rose, I think, is crucial because I think he's a big cog off the bench. And let's be honest, Derrick Rose, to me, was the best player of the Knicks in the playoffs. Now, here's where I change my thoughts of who should be the number one option. When it comes to playoff time, I believe that Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose are the number one options. So I believe that those two players should be staggered, and whichever one of them are playing should be the number one option. And Julius Randle should be coming off of one of those guys, meaning that Julius Randle should be after those guys. Here's why. Those guys will open the game for Julius Randle in ways that he needs in order to be effective, right? I do believe Julius Randle will have a better playoffs next season. You know, I do believe that a lot of this was there was a lot of pressure on him. I mean, you know, you playing for the New York Knicks, Madison Square Garden, it's your first playoffs. You want to have a good showing, and I just, you know, once again, I just believe Julius Randle was trying to do too much because he felt that pressure, and it took him off his game a little bit. I believe he'll have a better playoffs, but I think the key for him is having another guy that can get him that 20, at least 20 a game. And Kemba Walker, we know, is more than capable of doing that. Now, if we can get any resemblance of the Kemba Walker that used to play for the Charlotte Hornets, the Knicks will be a very dangerous team, because I already believe defensively with Tom Thibodeau as a coach, we know that they're going to be a top 10 defense in the league. And you know what? You know, my opinion is they're going to push top 5 defense in the league. We know Tom Thibodeau is going to have his team ready defensively, but in the playoffs, you still need to score enough. You still need to be able to put buckets. You know what I'm saying? You still need to go out there and get buckets. And so Kemba Walker becomes a crucial part. I believe RJ Barrett will take a step forward. I believe Julius Randle will have a much better playoffs. But can the Knicks get a Kemba Walker that can give them 20 a game playoff time? Because if they can, now what happens is you get a more elite Derrick Rose, because you won't be running Derrick Rose through the ground to have to do too much too. You know what I'm saying? Derrick Rose gave his all, but man, they were you go from the 6 man to be playing like, you know, that amount of minutes per game. That's crazy. So with the New York Knicks, we know for a fact that if you can get Kemba Walker, any resemblance of him in a Charlotte, that is going to shift the burden of scoring and take pressure off of those other guys. And that's what's going to be important. So I think that Kemba Walker situation, if Kemba Walker can stay healthy and give the Knicks about a 20-piece a game in the playoffs, that team is going to then be dangerous, because now you can stagger him and Derrick Rose. So you always have somebody at that guard spot that can put the ball in the basket, which is going to put a lot of pressure on the defenses, which is going to ease the burden off of Julius Randle scoring-wise. But I think Julius Randle will be able to play a little bit more free this coming playoffs than he did the season before, just because of the experience. And so for the regular season, once again, I believe Julius Randle should be the number one option. But come playoff time, you know, I think they should shift it to Kemba Walker. And I think if Kemba Walker can definitely provide that scoring that we know he's capable of, you got to watch out for this New York Knicks team. For sure. You got to watch out for this New York Knicks team. They could be a little bit dangerous. And one of those teams, possibly just like how Atlanta was this season, who kind of could sneak in. They win one series, they get the confidence, all of a sudden they win another series. The New York Knicks have that capability, but we'll see if they'll be able to get the job done. Anyhow, let me know what you think. Who should be the New York Knicks' number one option this coming season? Do you agree with me that in the regular season it should be Julius Randle, playoffs it should be Kemba Walker? Let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments, hit the like, hit the subscribe. It's your boy King Cal 516 signing off. This has been the Switch Flame Podcast.